Hey there, Joe and Lou. Michael Bruce here. It's 4:09 a.m. And you're probably wondering, what is this lunatic calling us for at 4:09 a.m.? Well, the Chinese restaurant wasn't open, so I lost track of time and got up too early this morning. But no, seriously, going to the airport to get on a flight to go to the M3 Festival, which is a rock festival. And going to be hanging out there for a couple days in Columbia, Maryland, and all your favorites will be playing. David Lee Roth, Ace Frehley, Stephen Pearcy, Warren DeMartini from Rat, McWinger, Vixen, all kinds of great bands. And of course, the headliner of the entire event is Richard Whiting. And then we're hoping, anyway, that there's the special guest of Ernesto de Quisto to come out, where, rumor has it, like during an encore, that he will come out and perform. So it's going to be pretty exciting. But why not call you guys at 4:10 a.m.? Because you guys are officially full-grown nuts. I saw the certificates myself. Ron and I bared witness as Steve Franchi himself handed them to you. So now you guys are officially in the fraternity, because obviously you were not before. We had a great time. Let me just say that he told me to tell him love, the greatest flub ever. He told me to tell him that, the convention was just unbelievable. They came from waters and lands all over to go for it. I mean, it was... If somebody asked me, can you describe to me what it was like? What was it like to be at the Honeymooners second annual convention? Because now we have 2 conventions under our belt. I said, if there was ever a living version of Bismarck, North Dakota, that's what it was right there. It was beautiful. So can't wait to do it again. Got a lot of other things to talk about on the show sometime or whatever. So anyway... RX and Honeymooners 24/7, hashtag that is, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Testing, hot outbound count, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready?
I'm all ready.
You on here? Come on, let's go inside and get started.
It's dusty out in that hall.
Hey, get a load of butts over there.
Oh, would I like to melt you just once. Dusty out in that hall.
What's my temperature, Norton? 111. Oh, come on, let's get moving. Isn't there any lawn here?
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
A 20% percentage.
And now, who is our next guest, please? Herb, here's our next guest.
Ed Norton. Ha, ha! What's this?
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time, with the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
If they ever institute a Nut of the Month Club, I've got a very good idea who's going to be January and February.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Robert Hilliard Bradleys of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
And he's so tall and slim.
Which throws my timing off. Not again, Mrs. Crandon. This is it. I finally found my super atomic passion. I'm going to be his angel cake forever and ever. I'll be Wallace's for all eternity. This ain't no bakery. You're listening.
Strictly out of the wood. The only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, also known as Clifton, New Jersey. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review, and we will read them. And if you don't do the podcast thing, the home base is non-productive.com/honeymooners, or just go to non-productive on YouTube, and all the episodes are on there also. And don't forget to like our Honeymooners podcast Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Honeymooner1. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, call 628-400-7741. I'm sorry, 628-400.
7741.
And if you want to email us at honeymoonerspodcast@aol.com. And
Aren't they ancient?
yes,
There we go.
yes.
Yes, we are.
And of course, you could support us on Patreon if you go to non-productive.com. What's going on, Lou?
Yo.
Hark, who goes there?
Hark.
Who is this clown right
What
here
is
to my
that?
left? What is
that?
And of course, it is the
Cherry
great-
Sriracha.
It's the Cherry Sriracha. Stephen Cherry Sriracha Franchi. But hang on a second, fellas. I got a text message from my pal, Vic DiBattista.
Oh,
Just saying, you know? that's my buddy.
He's a big shot.
Doing all those muckety mucks.
Leaving us here to
Yeah,
look at
those-
these four walls while he's out having fun with the fellas.
Fun with the fellas. Fun with the fellas. Fun with the fellas.
Oh,
Must
so
be
what's
that
going on?
silly logic.
Sure. Episode 139.
139.
And of course, we had Stephen Franchi come in because Stephen, he had nothing to do today.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing to do today.
Just take a ride up to Clifton, New Jersey.
Exactly.
Looks like rain out.
Yeah, it does actually.
Whoa.
We have a lot of really, really cool stuff to talk about today. Some interesting stuff about us and also our usual stuff for the podcast. So, before we even get started, should we get it? It's been so long, I forget. Do we start off with? I think we do.
We start off with our advertisers.
Our appetizers.
Appetizers. And appetizers.
And of
The
course,
most delicious thing ever.
and of course, our first show sponsor is Silk City
Silk
Hot
City
Sauce.
Hot Sauce,
Of course. And what you do is, if you want to get the best hot sauce on the planet, go to silkcityhotsauce.com and go order some of the best hot sauces. They have really cool names, and they're delicious.
Yes.
All right? They are absolutely delicious. You can ask anybody. People are always, they're trying to get you to have some, and it's very easy. If you want
I'll
some.
let him taste it. He'll be sold on it just like we were.
Exactly.
How you do it.
So what you do is you go to Silk City Hot Sauce, and they got these different packages, and go get yourself some great hot sauce. And when you're about to check out, when you're about to make that payment, when you're about to take your $12.83,
We're about to take the plunge.
and what there'll be is right in the center of the page will be a little place where you could put a coupon code, and for that coupon code, you put 2 letters, and those 2 letters are running a little slow.
RX.
RX, of course. And with that 2 letters, you get a 15%
Percentage.
off of your order, and then you get a free bottle of
Cherry Sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
Nailed it this time.
He nailed it, finally did. So go to Silk
59
City
cents a
Hot
pound,
Sauce.
sweetie pie.
Go to SilkCityHotSauce.com and get yourself some great hot sauce. And the other sponsor, of course, is thegoods.fun. And if you go to thegoods.fun, that is my wife's.
Your wife.
My wife's got some really.
Your wife.
If you go to thegoods.fun, you'll see a bunch of different products that you can get. And we have a section called the Collections, 328 Chauncey Street.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife's been slacking lately, but we have some other things we want to put on there. But right now we have the.
Well, she's been traveling all over the world.
I know.
Myrtle Beach.
Shame she'd have had a kid's life.
I never really had a. I had a terrible kid life. Traveling around the world. I was playing basketball,
Football, and you're hanging out in a pool room. Sorry.
But yes, you can go. At least right now, you can get the Honeymooners RX mug, and of course the glasses, the
rocks glasses.
rocks glasses with all 4 of the quotes from the drinking scene.
Yeah. And Father's Day is coming up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And you can, get something from the Millman shop.
Yes,
Millman
exactly.
shop.
Right. Exactly. The Millman shop.
What was it?
Melman shop.
I think
Yeah,
it's
the
Millman
Melman shop.
Yeah, for sure. And so please go to thegoods.fun, or if you want to like thegoods.fun on Facebook, and just you're supporting my wife.
Your wife.
Exactly. Never gets old.
Oh, God, no. It's like that and cherry sriracha.
All right. Well, listen, we got to get right to it. And before we get into everything, we're going to have to just...
Technicality. Skip the technicality.
And get right to the full-grown nut of the week. And here we go.
Verily, the Honeymooners podcast knights the full-grown nut of the week. Aren't you lucky?
I get to eat my snack while this is going on.
Joe, salad.
Sorry.
It gives me real pleasure to present to you this award.
Bob Cohen.
Yes, Bob Cohen is our brand new full-grown nut of the week, and we have to apologize
to Bob.
All right? You know why? Because we are because Louis is...
And you are a stupid head.
And he's also...
You're a menace to society. You're a menace to me.
Because you know who didn't know? Because Louis didn't... He thought Bob was already a full-grown nut. And you know who knew that he wasn't already a full-grown nut?
Yeah,
exactly. Can have a little extra fun with this. We thought
Bob
was already a full-grown nut.
Full-grown nut. We read the list 3 times.
3 times, exactly.
Just to make sure.
And there's also one more that we thought was, and both of these men were at the convention. So there's one more our next episode that will be our next one. But for this one, it is Bob Cohen. All right. Welcome, Bob. Welcome to the fraternity. And just make sure you leave. How much is the dues anyway?
About $100.
About $100?
You know, as soon as I saw him at the convention, I knew it was some kind of... He looked like
some kind of nut. Yeah, the board of nuts said he was.
Even Dino. When Dino saw Bob Cohen, Dino was...
He always looked like some kind of nut to me.
Well, we knew it was going to be a new full-grown nut because of the smoke coming out of the building.
Yes,
exactly. And it wasn't for Uncle Leo either. It was...
And what's funny, too, because when I met Bob for the first time, he brought his wife.
His wife?
Exactly. And she was very pretty, and I was just like...
Hello.
Hello. When I met her, I'm like,
Wait,
all right.
You said hello? Or,
She said hello.
No, you know what I said? I said to her...
Your stockings are crooked.
And she was carrying something around, wasn't she?
Well, can't you put your pocket down for 5 minutes? Always carrying. You think she had a big load or something?
And then when I finally met her and she was cool, I was like, all right, you know.
Okay, thanks a lot, sister.
This is so dumb. And you know what she said about me and Louie?
What?
Aren't they?
Unbelievable. The stupidity that goes on here. And could you imagine that this is what certain people want to, and we might as well get right to it.
Go right to it, John.
All right. So I've been teasing that we have some really cool stuff that's going on. And a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from a woman from a production company in Canada. And they have done a few docuseries on some TV, some actual networks. And they're doing a docuseries that's going to be on Paramount Plus and I think CW11 and a few other stations. And I don't have the email, but it's how television has changed America in the last 80 years. Something to that regard. And it's an 8-part docuseries. And one of the episodes is all about the Honeymooners. And they want me and Louie to be on the documentary.
That's fantastic.
How's that?
Yeah.
It was really.
Want to talk about how many?
And you know what's funny? Louis thought it was because of all of his stuff, and I was like, no. Yeah. And Louis was just like,
It brings a tear to my eye and a lump to my throat.
and then I said to her, I'm like,
What made the judge pick me above all the rest?
oh my God, yeah.
Who's the producer? Is it Herbert J.
Herbert J. Whiteside.
It's Herbert J. Whiteside.
Now
Yeah.
you'll be in one of the 8 parts, right? Because no one needs you guys in.
No, we wouldn't need to.
No,
more than one
eight
of
of those. Nobody has a need for 8 of those.
And I know what you're thinking, like how how did we get this? And
You know how?
That was a good ad lib.
That was a good one. That was good. We didn't even know that was coming. That was good.
it's going to be great too. I can't wait because it's not going to be in black and white.
No.
Nope.
When his tongue starts turning blue, we'll do a color spread on it.
That's so dumb. No, they're not even making any sense. And I said, I'm like, well, do you want to just use me or like me and Louis? And she was like,
No one would have a need for 2 of those.
but in all seriousness, it's unbelievably exciting.
It's amazing.
And they're supposed to let us know they're going to be in New York filming, and then we're going to go to New York. We had a Zoom meeting with her.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I even
Here's
figured
the
out a
thing.
Zoom. How's that?
Louis figured out the Zoom,
Yep.
and I guess to help with, I don't know if this is part of her research, but she was listening. She listened to a bunch of episodes of the podcast, and maybe that's how they probably were like, "Is anybody doing a podcast about this show?" And he found it, so she listened to a bunch of them, and she loved it. And we had a great 45-minute conversation with her, asking us what we thought of different things, and maybe to get an idea of how much we were into it or how knowledgeable we were. And listen, we are no more knowledgeable than anybody you nuts out there.
Yep.
It's just, we have 2 microphones.
You guys got connection.
We got connection. Yeah, so it's so unbelievably exciting. And so I'm finally going to get a TV credit after 25 years of doing comedy.
I'll be uncredited.
Yes, I'm credited. Yeah, you're going to
be
be
like,
you're Freddie
I'll
Mullen.
be George Petrie.
Yeah.
14 appearances.
14 appearances.
Can you do the whole thing as J.J. Marshall?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yes, the Honeymooners, 1955.
And Joe, I heard that she's doing another documentary about 8-part series about how this podcast ruined podcasting.
I know.
The end of podcasting.
Imagine if this goes up for like an Oscar or something.
Is this the man who gets the award?
It's so stupid.
And will no? In a serious question, the episode, will it just be about the honeymooners?
That's what they said.
That's what she said.
One
That's
episode
what she said.
just about
That's
the
what we're getting.
Eight parts. So there's eight
different shows.
Yeah.
Unless there's going to be some that might be, 7. It's about how television changed. In fact, I could probably look it up exactly what it's called. But yeah, I think it's the whole episode is going to be about the honeymooners. I think that's what she said, right?
Wow.
I thought that's what she was getting at. Yeah.
I didn't mean to ask such difficult questions.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
No, that's all right. Just make me go dig
had
for
me
stuff.
When they
You guys are big shots now.
Yeah.
Just Joe, be kind to people on the way up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God!
So we'll meet them on the same day on the way down.
Oh my goodness! It's just
my 5 minutes.
Too funny.
No, that really is. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Dude, this is
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how it's going to turn out. It's just,
I don't know.
I have I have no benchmark for this. I don't know.
No.
What do we do?
No, I mean it's almost like doing the podcast over again. Like how now look, obviously they'll probably interview us for like an hour.
Yeah,
and then of course they get they edit
take
it
like
down.
5 seconds.
5 seconds
of the
of
sense
exactly
that we make.
magic.
So
Yeah, it'll just be me going, But yeah, so this is really, really, really exciting.
It is. It is. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And plus, I've been just working a lot. You know, I've been opening for my pal Vic, so it's like all of a sudden I'm like, I feel like a big shot.
Yeah, big shot.
You're a big shot.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna point that bus right to New York City, and then
Yeah.
I'll be home the same night. So it's fine.
When they ask
I'm
you,
gonna jump on the subway.
where do you live? You know, like,
They're always asking me where I live.
Same question. Where do I live? What's your address?
and I'm sure once you guys do this show, there'll be plenty of jobs for Butler. Maybe
Oh
down
yeah,
Long
I
Island.
could,
yeah.
I could be a soda jerk.
That's my goal. I'm hoping to become a soda jerk.
Or rush at the music hall.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
Yeah. So, really, really exciting.
Phase the vibes the best. There you go. Thank you. I was on the receiving end of that. I'm never on the receiving end of that.
Well, we spoke here for what, an hour?
Yes,
over
we
an
did.
hour, and I didn't cough
You
once.
didn't cough once.
As soon as that
The
microphone went on,
you started coughing. That's because we went out in the hall. It's dusty. So, a little pause in the action here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually looking. Oh, how television changed America. That's what it's called. So really, really exciting stuff. Yeah. I
watch all those. Do you watch those other ones?
I love those things.
Those foods that change America. This that changed America.
Love that stuff.
Really,
I always
watch that.
I always like to find out how something was like how it'll be like how do you make vases, and then you start going like, oh my god, like I'm an idiot, I had no idea. You know what I mean? I like that stuff.
What goes into making something
you
take for granted.
I'll take that over the real answer and put anything here. The Real Housewives of wherever,
except the Real Housewives of Bensonhurst.
Oh, okay. That would be one that I would watch. True, that's true. Mrs. Stevens. I heard Mrs. Stevens flip the table over after the dancing.
Angelina.
Yeah, that's
Did you
true.
guys see that? Colin and I went to a restaurant called
Angelina's. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that we've been going. It's a local restaurant. Been there for number of years since before the pandemic. We've been going. Never thought about it.
It never occurred.
It
to
never
you.
clicked. And then we drive it up. I see the sign. I'm like, Mrs. Manicotti's.
my Angelina.
Yeah. Chicken facciamata.
Chicken facciamata. All right. Well, listen, we're going to get right into one of our bits. It's one of the newer bits, and it's got a couple of things in it with you guys. And here it is with a little addition. Here we go. Listen, folks.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents, to Joe Conte's dismay and abject horror, the Ron Albanese Twos Theory.
No one would have a need for two of those.
It's beautiful.
That's
beautiful.
a great add-on.
That is excellent.
All right. So now, Louis, you have one, right? And I have a clip for it, right?
You want to play the clip first, or you want to go into?
Tell me what it is.
Okay, so we have a Twos Theory, $4.95.
Now, of course, what is $4.95?
Was the vacuum cleaner?
The vacuum cleaner at Dowers.
Dowser's on DeKalb Avenue.
Dowser's.
Okay, Dowser's on DeKalb Avenue.
Yep.
And then we also had, when Ralph was going through his bills, and he's mumbling, and I said, wait a minute. I think he just said $4.95.
Yeah.
So Joe played it. Yeah, Joe played it.
Here we go. Sorry. Here we go.
Well, here. That's $4.95.
There it is.
There it is.
$4.95.
$4.95. That's three and a half.
And a half.
All right. It comes to $186.32.
Please just mention what you just said
About
before
that?
about the 180.
All right, adjusted for inflation,
It's almost
$2,000 he owes. It sounds like $186 is nothing. That's like basically not even your cable bill today.
Yeah, exactly. $1,800.
$1,800.
He's not living in a house with a mortgage.
Yeah, he got nothing. This man has nothing.
39-cent gas bill.
93-cent electric
bill. Exactly.
No TV.
No TV.
No
nothing.
No
a telephone.
There's a radio.
There's a radio.
There's a radio. They say there's a radio. But that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh, I like.
Was she a robot?
Right, really?
Was she a robot? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God! Like the life that she lived, and she absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the food bill.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure the bills are high. Just as much of food as Alice getting.
You could rent the stable.
So that totally goes with the the two stereo.
The two stereo, $495. He used that $495,
and it wasn't like it was how many times did you go to the track? $495. No. Both were dollar amount.
$4.95.
Yeah. Is there a reason why? Is it funny? $4.95.
I don't know. I don't have
$4.95.
Well, he says in the vacuum cleaner one, he says, well, they run pretty high.
Right.
Freddie Muller, they run pretty high, and he says, was it Joe Muncie? It's Joe Muncie.
Rumsey Muncie.
Rumsey Muncie, right?
Rumsey Muncie.
Well, they run kind of high. He goes, oh yeah, I got this for $4.95.
Right.
Which
but if
to them, the audience laughs because
right.
Now, even though it's $49 adjusted, I guess a vacuum cleaner today for $49 is really nothing.
Right.
But he says that he thinks it's high, $4.95.
But does it work if he says $3.95?
I don't know. Sometimes we get so used to a number that we,
And listen, it has that F thing. That
four.
It's almost literally forced.
Yeah. Right.
With the hard F, and maybe it's just I don't know. $4.95.
$4.95. With flows actually, Joe. You're right.
It actually flows right out of the Dynaflow.
Yeah, flows right into the Dynaflow. Right into the sprocket armature. Right there. It's getting stupider.
Yeah. It really does. I hope Lindsay's not listening.
Yeah, radio 140. We're gonna be. Oh, yeah. Joe, we do not come down tomorrow.
Lindsay was the girl that we spoke to, so I'm
she's the producer.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
This one.
But yeah, $4.95.
This one and
skip the technicalities. But it worked. It just sounds funny. Maybe because we're used to it.
And it's a two, and it turned out to be a two.
And it turned out to be a two stereo.
Wow. That's all. There you go.
Stephen,
yeah, good. Thank you.
Now you got a two stereo.
So 2 times.
That makes it a two stereo.
And go a little closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So 2 times there have been emergencies in the sewer.
Okay.
All right. So
we have
Himrod Street.
Right,
where that's on Palomine, right?
Palomine.
Yep.
And then the one
up in the Bronx.
Up in the Bronx, 225 5th Street, right?
5th Street,
where Ed took the subway all the way down into Brooklyn wearing his
sewer outfit to get to the raccoon
to the Halloween thing.
Ball. The Halloween party.
Halloween ball.
Unbelievable. Ron Albanese.
I'm winning that.
Now 225 would be up. I would think could be up in the Bronx. Right?
Yeah, because
it's got to be next to the storage where the handy house.
Yes, probably right there. Yeah,
right there. Yeah, right.
So that one was
Manhattan streets don't run that high, right?
Palomine.
Yeah, that's 225th Street is
that's
Man from Space.
That's Man from Space.
That's Man from Space.
Right.
And Himrod Street was Palomine.
Yeah.
And what was he supposed to do instead of going there?
One? In Palomine, he Ed. They were going to go bowling.
Oh, that's
but
right.
Ralph was going bowling.
with
Teddy Oberman.
Teddy Oberman.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, on lane 3.
On lane 3.
Alley 3.
That's our alley. Our alley.
Now, what happened on Kosciuszko Street? That's just a tour.
That's a tour of the sewers?
Tour of the sewers? Kosciuszko Street sewer?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They mentioned Kosciuszko Street twice, don't they?
Well, the mother-in-law lives at 33 Kosciuszko
Street.
That's true.
And then
Kosciuszko Street Bridge. So one of them was right?
No,
the tour of the Kosciuszko Street sewers.
Tour. What's tonight? Oh, Thursday night. And right. He takes me to a trip to the Kosciuszko when he's sleepwalking.
Right. Kosciuszko's.
Then 33 Kosciuszko Care.
Oh, okay. So that's the two caregivers.
Right. And then there's a Park Avenue sewer.
The Park Avenue sewer. That's where the one he catches cold in.
Yes,
because they're air conditioned.
Such a stupid joke. Such a stupid.
We'll come back to the sewers.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to come back to the sewers. Okay, so now we wanted to get into Steve in his mental
illness.
Yeah, the mental illness of Steve. He decided with
You know how?
That's for you, Michael Bruce. You started talking about Big Mouth.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Now we all know I got a big mouth, but the actual words "big mouth" have been used.
So by my count, it's 11 times in 5 different episodes. Okay. Golfer, Brother Ralph, Here Comes the Bride, Unconventional Behavior, and Mind Your Own Business.
And different variations, right?
Different variations. So there's...
There you go.
I've got
Dusty out in that chair.
I've got a big mouth.
Why do we have him in the hallway, Joe? Let's bring him in the studio.
It's because the sheet is open.
Can you get the microphone put out in the hallway? Maybe you'll get a better reception.
I knew there was something missing. The sheet is missing.
The sheet's not there. Yeah, exactly.
Alice, where are the sheets?
Alice, where are the
The sheet's over there.
it's
Yeah,
over there. There you
they took it down when they refurbished the place.
They better put it back up.
Bring a little class to this. So, so me and my big mouth, it's because I have a big mouth. That's why a big mouth. I got a big mouth. Did it again with my big mouth. And then, will you shut your big mouth and stop yelling my salary?
Right, the $62 a week. Right.
So
and you said 2 of them were from the one episode, right? Here Comes the Bride, right?
Yeah, so I believe Alice actually says it twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Here Comes the Bride and in Mind Your Own Business.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Oh, in almost the same context, right?
Right.
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
You know how those big
mouths are. Yeah.
And then also with who would say such a thing?
Well, with Stanley?
With Stanley?
Yeah, I think that's where
That's the other one comes from? Okay.
Yeah, but we can get fact checked.
Of course.
By the nuts. Yeah, of course.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do our work for us.
And then there's the time.
I have no problem with that.
In Brother Ralph, Ralph says it to Alice when $62 a week, $60 a week.
What was he say? Wouldn't you shut your big mouth?
Will you shut your big mouth and
Okay,
stop yelling my salary?
I don't want my salary to leak out. Yeah.
Right. And then, and then this was the one that got, if I'm correct, Ralph uses it 7 times. 7 times. And then in 4 of those times in The Golfer. He says it 4 times in one episode. That's the one that I have the most.
Was that? Did it end with that?
Doesn't he say after Douglas leaves?
Right.
Yeah.
After Douglas
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah.
You're right, Joe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That was how he ended. I think that's how the episode ended, right?
Well, so he says it the first time. I think he says it in the
Never again will I open my big
mouth. Right.
Then Douglas comes in. Him, you.
Right. And then he says it after he kind of
Big
talks
mouth.
his way into playing golf.
Yeah,
Right.
Playing golf again, right.
And then later on, chip the bone in his ankle. I think he says it after that too, because I think 4 times.
Just in that one.
Just in that one.
Just in The
episode.
Golfer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
the Golfer has more than.
Where's
just
the one where he answers Norton? How do you get us? When Norton says to him, "How do you get us like in these situations?"
how do you get us into these fixes?
Fixes. There, that's it.
That is, isn't that fishing gone fishing?
no, I don't have him.
No,
singing.
the convention. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Unconventional
Yeah,
behavior.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
Because he wouldn't let her say it.
Yeah.
And
Right,
yes.
right.
How do you get us into these fixes?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to know why?
Yeah. Oh, so and then I do have it here. So probably one of those big mouth characters. That's what Alice said.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
yes.
Yep.
With Here Comes the Bride.
Comes the Bride.
Right.
One of those big mouth characters.
Right. And then she says, "You know how those big
Big
mouths
mouths
are,
are."
Ralph."
Oh, yeah.
And then those big mouths all the time can figure out. All the time can figure out. So,
Yeah, like other
Yeah,
people's
other people's
problems.
problems, yeah.
Right, but
Yeah,
they can never do
problem.
anything
Fix my
by their-
sleeping problem, yeah.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And they can never do anything on their own.
yeah. So there you have
There
it.
you
I like
go.
it.
All right.
If anybody wants to contest,
please, yeah.
contest. You want to contest it?
Contest it.
Hope you pick a winner.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I remember we did a twos theory a couple of episodes ago. And I think the twos theory was that there were 2 episodes that were named after movies.
Mm-hmm.
Young Man with a Horn or like a play on. And the other one was Dial J for Janitor instead of Dial M for Murder, which I think was very clever. Very clever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after we did that, I got a text message from Brother Bibbs. And Brother Bibbs sent me a thing, and it said that in 1942, there was a movie comedy in 1942 called To Be or Not to Be, a takeoff of TV or Not TV. Of course, they stole the movie title from that great bar.
The Immortal Bard.
The Immortal Bard.
Bard of Avon.
So now, I think TV or Not TV, I don't know if they were the first ones to ever use that, but it is clever. To be or not to be, TV or not TV.
Yeah.
But here is another Flintstones connection where it was a complete, utter ripoff. And listen, you're coming from somebody who loved.
Oh, we love the Flintstones.
I love the first two seasons of the Flintstones. I love. Yeah. There was the 4th episode was called No Help Wanted. And does this sound familiar to you guys? Fred gets Barney to because he thinks he deserves a raise, so he gets Barney to put his broom down, as he says, and go in there and ask for a raise. And then he doesn't see Barney for like a week. And he's all mad. He's like, oh, apparently I got him this raise, and he doesn't even talk to me anymore. And he finds out he got fired. So to try to help him, he brought Barney with him to go golfing, where he golfs with a guy he calls his pigeon, which I love that word, by the way, pigeon. He's my pigeon. He's a rich guy. And the rich guy, because he tries to get Barney a job. So Fred got Barney the job, the one that he got, that he, got him fired from. Okay. But he got him another job, and the job was to repossess furniture. And it's a very funny, it's a very funny scene where the guy, when Barney walks in there, the guy's like, well, what do I do? Barney says, what do I do? And he goes, you see that picture up there? He goes, feeding, and it shows guys being fed to hungry lions. And he goes, feeding men to hungry lions. And he goes, that's cruel. He goes, what we do is not cruel. He's trying to downplay
right.
repossessing people's
furniture. Yeah.
So anyway, he goes, this is your first guy.
Repossessing the rocks.
Repossessing, yeah. So he goes, this deadbeat doesn't want to pay his TV bill. And what it was Fred. And Fred didn't pay his TV bill because he lost to golfing to that guy because Barney was a whiz and he gave him a driver when he should have used whatever. And he goes like this, and he goes, so go ahead, go get him. And he goes, TV or not TV, a little joke we say in the trade. And I'm like, wow,
there you go,
that's
right there.
That's
so
crazy.
Think of the similarities in the.
And then of course Betty's great line:
Barney was fired. Oh my God, that's so funny. But yeah, so TV or not TV could be taken from To Be or Not to Be, which is where technically that's where they got it from, but it could be from the movie technically. Okay. So there could be 3.
Think about all those things that you just described. There are so many things in there that relate to the Honeymooners.
Oh, we're right. Yeah,
right. The furniture, the TV, losing at a job, being the big mouth, the golf,
absolutely.
Right? It's just like it's like so many different things.
And one big ball amounts to one.
And there was this one
and Flintstones episode.
I always loved this one line, and because Barney went to the house and he was trying to peacefully try to see about how much he loves the TV, and he loves his TV. And he goes, I'm quitting my job. And he goes, quitting? You just got the job. How bad could it be? And he said something about doing something ruthless. And then Fred said, and he goes, what about friendship, Fred? And this is one of my favorite lines he ever did. He goes, friendship, your only friend is a buck. And the more bucks you got, the more friends you got. And it was just a hilarious line. And it does sound a lot like Ralph.
Yeah.
We're not cracking the Da Vinci Code here. We all know the similarity, but just sometimes when it's really similar, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
And that all stemmed from Brother Bibbs, right?
That was all Brother Bibbs who sent me that. Of
Right,
course
right,
it was.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Bibbs will send me a text at 4 a.m, something so obscure, and I'm like, I gotta read it. It's Bibbs.
Now
I have to read
I'm
it.
up at 4.
Of course.
Let me read this.
So, do you? The question I was going to ask Steve.
You know how?
We can get to the next bit.
You know how?
Yeah, that's going to be another staple here. Yeah. That's probably going to be the name of this episode. You know, comma, how? Sewer workers.
Sewer workers.
Another one of Steve and Franchi's mental breakdown. And I don't understand how your wife hasn't left you.
Your wife.
My wife. Yeah, so I thought this would be fun to kind of do together.
A little spontaneity?
Yeah, a little spontaneity here. I'm good. I have a list of who I think, but thought, and then we can always put it out to the full-grown nuts out there, and I'm sure there'll be someone we miss. So, you guys did this a lot. In the early days, doing lists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we used to do the list in the early days.
So there are a number. I have
I like the list.
3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 sewer workers.
Wow, you got 7?
I have 7 sewer workers that have been discussed on the show.
All right, on the show. Okay.
Right, okay. So there's one that's obvious.
Can we try to guess the 7? Can me and Louie try to guess the 7?
That works, yeah.
Hey, Joe, you go first.
Morris Fink.
Okay, we got Fink.
Yep, Morris Fink is one.
And I got
from
Jim
the
McKeever.
Loudspeaker. Yep, Jim McKeever from Pal of Mine.
Cassidy.
Very good. Cassidy from Mind Your Own Business.
Mind Your Own Business. Oh, God, I didn't think of Cassidy.
Yeah.
All right, I got Flaherty.
No, I don't have a Flaherty.
No. What's the name of the guy that throws the costume up? Hey, Flaherty, throw me that.
No, maybe it is. But I
it
have
Flaherty?
Marty.
I think it's Flaherty.
Flaherty?
Flaherty, yeah.
Oh, I heard it as
no, Marty's
Marty.
the getaway driver.
I wish we
maybe
could.
that's it, yeah. So Flaherty, you're right.
I think it's Flaherty. Okay,
yeah, you're very right. Yes.
Here, let's double check here.
You have him down as what?
Man from
I
Space,
had him as
right?
Marty,
All
but
right, so
maybe
it's
I'm
the
just misremembering.
Yeah.
Me.
Here it is.
That's why you can't get the $10 from me, because we're both geniuses and we think alike.
I thought he said Flaherty. We'll get it. We'll get it.
What are you talking about? I'll tell you. Just a minute. Hey, that Flaherty, throw up that
You're right. Okay.
Flaherty.
I was thinking
Marty.
Marty, but okay, yeah, that
Getaway
was
driver. All right,
yeah.
so
Well,
Marty was at 7.
Maybe Marty was a sewer worker.
Maybe and he drove the getaway car in his.
I also heard that Marty had a wig shop. Too. Sorry, Goodfellas reference. I apologize. On the boulevard.
Marty was an Uber driver on the front.
So far you got
so we got
Morris
Fink, McKeever,
right?
Cassidy, Flaherty. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can.
So you have 4 so far.
Oh, who's the guy that moved to Schenectady? We had a guy, a blessed event in the sewer.
No, his mother-in-law moved to.
Yeah, he had the blessed event.
Blessed event. His mother-in-law.
Oh, he had a baby? No, he moved. Did he mention his name?
I don't know if he mentions his name, but I did not. I wasn't thinking that one.
What is that from? Are we going to be able to figure out what episode?
Yeah.
It's from?
Oh God, is he
had a blessed event?
Wait, a baby? No, his mother-in-law moved to Schenectady.
Let's think of it.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll go back.
Okay, all right.
How many more do you have?
I have 3 more.
Three
Right.
more. Oh, wow.
The main one you're missing.
Are you talking about Norton?
Yeah, it's Norton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The sewer workers.
Right.
All his sewer workers.
Right.
Well,
So then there's
he's
2
also-
more.
He's counting Norton.
Right.
Yes. Oh, you're counting
One
Norton. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a sewer
Okay.
worker.
All right.
Yep. So the 2 more that I have, one is a name, and the other one is a reference.
Is the one the
Oh, wait a minute.
the ugly boss?
The
Yeah,
orangutan.
yes.
The one that looks like an orangutan.
The
No,
ugliest-
it's his cousin.
The ugliest woman
Woman I've ever met. Yeah.
Right.
And what about the one with the mask?
That's his.
That's his boss.
That's his boss too. The one with the mask. Well, that
Yeah,
one looks
it
too
is
much
his
like my
boss.
boss.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
the
may
little
get insulted or something.
Yeah, isn't
I'm
that the
assuming
one-
that's the same person.
Yeah.
No, that could be.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The same person as what?
The ugliest woman
The ugliest
that ever
woman?
lived, and
The one that looks too
the
much
one
like
that
my
was-
boss. The mask.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's
The
a
tooth theory.
Yeah,
Tooth
that's a
theory.
tooth
Could be.
theory.
That could be the same. That could be the same person.
Right, because
Okay.
it's- the joke was that he had a woman boss.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other joke was it's just he was so ugly.
Ugliest woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And then I have one more.
You have one more.
You said is this a name?
It's a name.
Wow. Who said? Does Norton say the name?
Norton says the name. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And the name is said in reference to something that Norton is doing.
Let's see. Got the name.
He doesn't mention it during Worry Wart when he's talking about his stuff that he does.
Norton is doing something, and Ralph and Alice are actually arguing. There's a lot going on in the scene.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Can you name the episode?
It's the one I don't have the episode down. Hold on.
Do you remember what they were arguing about?
Now I can't.
Oh, wait a minute. Were they arguing about the money for the Happy Housewife the thing? Because that was
Yes,
one
that might be it. Yes.
Because didn't he come down because he woke him up? Is that what? No, I don't think so.
Norton is sitting at the table, and he's doing something in the paper.
The crossword puzzle.
Right.
Easy.
Nat Birnbaum.
Yes.
Oh! I got a guy in the sewer.
Not
George Burns. That's right. Oh,
and
that's
AT.
right.
Put down here. Put down here. I love that. Hey, no. Put down Nat. I love that. When he goes, hey.
Put down Nat. Put down Nat.
That's Birnbaum. Oh, my God.
So
we have seven, including Norton.
Including Norton.
Okay. And we're going to say that the two references are the same one. She's the ugliest woman ever lived, and this
one looks too much like my boss.
Yeah, and it'll hurt his feelings. So we're just.
But it does say it hurt his feelings.
His feelings.
Yeah.
Ooh, so we got more than
maybe it is.
a lot of bosses down here.
A lot of bosses.
You got Mars Fink's got to be a boss,
right? Exactly. So there's 8.
Yeah.
Let's go with
or was a man and then became a woman.
Yeah, it could be.
Not 1955, but I'm just saying.
25 years, not
1955. Doubt it seriously. So that's actually technically 8.
8, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
If anybody wants to dispute it, it's coming to you live from this very studio.
Not on film. It's not on film.
It's coming to you in podcast form.
Take it to the Facebook page and remember we're admins and can delete your post.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, God. All right, where we at now?
You know how?
Yes, I know how. I just had to. I'm going to beat that into the ground today.
It fits anywhere.
Yeah, it does. Michael Blue said, "This is your greatest episode ever."
It fits anywhere.
It does. Okay, so I wanted to bring up something that we saw on one of our other sister sites.
Okay, thanks a lot, sister.
It was another one of those Honeymooner sites, one of our sister sites.
Okay, thanks a lot, sister.
And I you know what? It's not our page, so I don't care. I don't have the guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to.
Why are you giving him props?
Yeah, it's the Honeymooners one. That's one that's got like 40,000 followers on it.
Definitely not us.
No. And so he basically, I cut to the part where they said that Jackie Gleason said the reason why they stopped doing it is because they ran out of ideas and blah, blah, blah. So he just says, as a lifelong fan, I wonder if the plot options could have been broadened if they shot more episodes out of the apartment. They did a few and it worked well, but I can't help think those great writers could have come up with more quality episodes if they changed the settings, and he has a couple. And I think he's 100% right. Think if they would have had a bigger budget to go on. I'm not even saying on location, but to have multiple, even more so of these the sets.
Location sets.
That's interesting, Joe. You bring that up. Locations, because it's still, no matter, even when they weren't in the apartment,
right?
They were still on that one room stage, whether in Mr. Putter's office or Dick Kirsch's office or at the lodge. It's still that one
same stage
room stage,
Yeah.
just different set. It's
And
just
I
a
wonder
diff-
how long it took for them. Like, the curtain would close and then they would have to change it. And I think
I guess they must have things. They used to have things on wheels then. Didn't they just wheel them
Yeah.
out and you'd wheel in another set, something like that?
and I think
how they did
that's
it.
why when we seen
The
them,
table was on wheels.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
it's true. I think that's why,
They tied the
couple of
the
times,
sheets to it.
not in the beginning of the episode where they would get applause breaks when they came in,
Yeah.
because it was probably the curtains closed,
Right.
then they opened
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and then they started again,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they would applaud again.
Yeah, and
So-
and I would say before we get into a little divergence,
Yeah.
not as bad as Ron, but, if you want, I know Joe doesn't have 4 hours today, so
Yeah, I have things to
3
do.
hours and a half. If you watch,
You know what? Forget about Ron. Let's just
if you watch the Lost episodes, there are a lot of other scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of outdoor and bigger, what seem to be bigger
Yeah,
sets.
yeah.
There's the Fred's Landing. There's the hot dog stand.
Yep.
Dog stand.
They're at the racetrack
hotel,
in one of them?
the racetrack.
Yeah.
The hotel.
Yep, the hotel.
Right? There's the one where they go down to, I guess what would be.
Oh, like the Horn and Hard Art place. That one. Remember they had to find the clue and get the sandwich out of.
Yes. Yeah.
They're like in this big cafeteria.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's the one where they go to. There's a hotel, the one where
they come out.
Yeah, Bonnie. That's the one. Yeah. With the same guy that played Boss. Is
Okay, Appler?
Boris
Yeah,
Appler.
Boris Appler. He's
Applem,
the
Pablum on
yeah,
pizza.
Pablum on pizza, yeah.
So anyway, so there were a lot more sets
Yeah.
in the Lost
And left
episode.
it, yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
how they were so much more, they seemed more ambitious in that regard.
Yeah.
But maybe because they didn't need it for the 39 because the writing was so good.
Yeah, it was
Because
so tight,
it
yeah.
developed.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
developed like we always said. It's like watching a prequel afterwards.
Right.
You're like, oh, I see how it, and of course, when you think about it, do you really ever sit there and go, out of the 39, they should have done more sets? You were like, no, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But,
No, there's-
but it's a great
Yeah.
sentiment to say maybe they could have done more.
Right. There
But
are
how-
two that come to mind for me.
Go ahead.
I would have loved to seen the floor show at the
Hong Kong Gardens.
I've been saying that for
Yeah.
Like, just
And-
please, once I want to see the floor
floor
show
show
at the
at
Hong Kong Gardens.
and the dancing room at the Colonnade Room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The ballroom part
the
of the
ballroom.
colonnade
Yeah,
when
that
they went
would've
off.
been
And
cool.
see Bill Davis cutting rug with Millie. Oh, man.
Yeah,
That
Mambo
Mambo
on
samba.
a,
Oh, come on, Bill. That's for us.
It's so funny when I
the
do
Mambo
think,
on a full stomach.
It's tough to Mambo.
it's
Joe.
so-
Okay, no.
I was just going to say, the only time I think of like the floor show at the Hong Kong Gardens at the end of Christmas Story when they went to the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Deck the halls with boughs of. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, what
And I
could
always
it
think of
possibly
that
be?
the young Shin.
Oh, it's Shin Yun.
Young
Yeah, I
Shin
think
Yun,
you.
yeah.
That thing they always advertising.
the Chinese dance
that
tour,
Chinese dance tour.
the-
Shin Yun. Oh my God, where you been? Too much
Myrtle
time in
Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
I was waiting for all the girls to crowd around me.
Yeah.
So now, what were you about to? You were about.
I
to
was
say,
about to say something. Oh, some scenes would be hard. Like he mentioned, like at a Dodgers game, and I mean, how do you recreate that
I
without
think
going
it would-
like on location? Which is they didn't basically do
Unless
back
they got
then.
unless it was where they would have bleachers and they would.
Yeah,
have a
like they
bunch of
did. Well, they
extras.
were like with the racetrack scene that time. You know, they did had like the windows and
Right.
people
Yeah.
throwing tickets on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, they did Madison Square Garden. No one else on the street around Madison.
Oh yeah, and then
on
walk
34th
right
Street.
in.
Yeah, just nobody.
Walk right in the
It
Madison
was
Square
like,
Garden.
it was like the pandemic.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, it's just one,
Yeah, really.
one doorway
Yeah.
to get in. It was beautiful.
It was another one. If you figure, okay, so you can't do Ebbets Field. Oh, the Odd Couple did one with bowling. Remember the one with the bowling episode?
Yes.
With
Yeah,
Felix's back, and he always like choked
Yep.
in the big
Yeah.
situation.
Yep.
And it was basically just the camera facing them, and they're going through this bowling motion.
Right.
Now, would you want to have seen like them at the bowling alley? That would have been pretty cool. I think so.
Because I don't. Now, the Flintstones, they were good bowlers.
Yes.
and they obviously were bowlers. The characters were good bowlers.
Yeah.
Now we know Gleason and Carney both could play pool.
Right.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Anybody that
Oh,
plays
yeah.
could see. Do you think they were actually bowlers?
I don't know, but I could see Art Carney if they said, "All right, we got to do a bowling scene." I could see him
guarantee you.
picking it up and looking like Dick Weber, his first time bowling, like Earl Anthony, like first time picking up ball, hitting like a 7-10 split.
How great would it be to watch Art Carney just go nuts in the bowling?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Picking it up, and
he would do the whole thing,
and then when he actually would do it,
Yeah.
it would look absolutely hilarious and acrobatic at the same time.
in his way of doing things.
His way of doing things.
And I think Jackie Gleason also, for a big man, right? We've talked about it
he's
before.
nimble.
He was very nimble.
Nimble.
I could definitely see
flip.
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he does that flip
flips and then ends up in a split.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that? And he was when he filmed the Honeymooners, like the in 50, he was born in 16.
Yeah.
So he was 39 years old. He wasn't a spring chicken.
No.
And he could move around.
Oh, yeah.
And he was 300-pound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Yeah, and when you could see when he dances
Yeah.
around, that he actually had rhythm, and so I could see him being a
Very
bowler.
nimble.
Yeah, very no. I can see these guys pick out like Art Carney and him picking up bowling just to shoot a scene,
Just to shoot
and looking like phenomenal.
And it was probably a big thing then, right? Bowling.
Oh yeah, bowling was big.
Was
big.
a big thing.
Boxing
So-
was big back at the time, and
Right.
bowling and shooting pool. And,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Well, because they were social. They were social sports.
Yeah.
It wasn't like if you wanted to, like Louis plays baseball and softball. It's a pain in the
Football
neck.
and basketball.
It's a pain.
It's a shame he never had a kid's life.
But it was a social thing.
Yeah, and it was a local thing, Joe. That just didn't. You could just
go.
the walking distance.
And you just
walk.
go.
Yeah,
You didn't even. You literally didn't have to bring anything.
No.
You could if. We play pool. We had our own
Sure,
pool
sure,
sticks,
right,
but
right,
you
right.
could get pool
There.
cues there. You
Right.
get bowling
Bowling
balls
balls.
there.
Yeah, if
bowling
you didn't want,
shoes,
yeah,
right.
You
I
just
mean,
go.
obviously they had their own because it was their thing.
Right.
They had their own bowling ball bags and bowling
Bowling
bag
ball
balls.
bag
Yeah.
balls.
Another topic you could do another show with all the things that I guess consider it pop culture, whatever. All the things that they did do, like roller skating,
Yeah.
and bowling and pool in
Tunnel
the
Love.
episodes.
Crazy.
I don't need to go there.
Crazy.
I don't need to go in the amusement park for a crazy house.
Got one right here.
It's just fantastic. It really is.
No, but I would really, out of all those, Joe, I would have loved to have seen a bowling scene.
Yes.
Yeah, I like.
I really would. I really would have liked, because Stevie J said like Norton doing his Norton things before he shoots a ball, annoying Ralph, and Ralph just
Yes.
getting up and pushing him. Will you shoot the ball? You
And
know?
then dropping the ball
Dropping
on
the
his
ball
foot
on
or
his-
something
yeah.
like that. It seems like there could have been a lot.
So let's
of
ask
material.
the question. Let's pose it to the nuts. What is one thing that
There
you
you
would
go,
have loved
Joe.
to see
One
them
thing.
outside of the apartment and anything you didn't see?
Yeah, anything we didn't see.
Bowling is.
Yeah, I would have loved to see bowling. Would have loved to see
It would have been
The
great.
antique show. Walking around.
Walking on the antique show. Yeah,
Handing out receipts
Receipts,
after we charged everybody.
to evaluate their hand.
Michael Bruce. Michael Bruce's obsession with him charging. We're doing it for free.
And who was it at the convention that had the shirt on? Was it Gary? Didn't Gary have?
Oh, somebody had.
Is it free estimates?
Free estimates.
my God,
Who
yes.
had it? Was it
Yeah,
Gary?
well, whoever had it,
did,
posted.
yeah.
Yeah,
Take a
But I
picture of the
think
shirt and post it.
I don't. If it wasn't Gary, I apologize
Yeah.
to
Whoever
did
it
I
was.
don't think it might have been Gary. I think it was.
Well, whoever it
was
was.
either Gary or Deanno. One of the two.
I don't
Yeah.
think it wa- I
That might have been.
Yeah, whoever.
Had to be a nut.
One of-
Oh,
Yeah,
gotta be a nut.
one.
Yeah, that gotta be a real full-grown nut.
yeah.
And whoever had it, take a picture of it
Yes.
and post it.
Under a lamppost.
And whoever had it,
Under.
they
They can have it. If they found out, if we found out you had it,
They could have
they
it.
can have it. It never stops.
Well,
It never stops.
Yeah, I love to.
So all right, so we said we'd like to see a bowling.
without a doubt.
Anything else would you like to have seen? We've seen them shooting pool, which is okay because pool's a one-room thing.
Yep.
And you're not out anywhere.
I got one.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would.
You know how? Okay,
you know
I'm
how?
sorry, I jumped the gun on you there.
Playing cards. Now I know I'm pulling from the Odd Couple, but they talk about playing poker.
Not just Ralph and Ed.
Ed, like Pinochle and
gin. $185.
Right, yeah, you would like to see them at the rack. Now that's not a hard thing to do.
No.
If you can bring that to the Raccoon Lodge,
or at the Acme Finance
we're going to find Acme Finance Company where the card table is. Yeah. The card table.
Yeah, I'm
now
sorry.
you remember the one in the Lost? It's one of my actually favorite ones in the Lost episode where Ralph has to lose weight for his physical, and there was something wrong with the tape measure, and he was taller than he thought he was. He was like, for that his weight, he was okay for the wrong height.
Right, like an inch or two.
Because Alice had the inch cut off on the bottom of the tape measure. That was actually a pretty big scene there. We had the food out. It was at the lodge, and Ralph's they're eating turkeys, and I think Freddie Muller was actually the caterer. And they're bringing in turkeys, and Ralph's eating like a gavone, and it was like, that was a kind of a scene like that, like a Raccoon Lodge scene, unlike a meeting, because we're used to meetings, but
we have the
I think the card game at the Raccoon Lodge would have been a great scene.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I think it would be a great scene.
Entertainment.
That would be good. Who's at the card table with Ralph and Ed?
Oh, well, it'd have to be
Mr. President?
Yes.
Oh, gotta have
Mr. President.
Oh, he's got to be there.
Yeah. He might be working he would probably be working the register.
The register,
so to speak, if you were using chips. The president.
Bob Stanley.
Stanley?
You think Stanley? Okay.
I don't know. What about want to end up being Harry at the pool hall,
Oh yeah,
let's look at
the requirements.
One of our videos. Requirements.
Oh, Bill Davis.
Bill Davis is there. He's a raccoon. Freddie Muller's,
Freddie Muller.
Raccoons.
Was
Cassidy?
Cassidy's,
but you never see Cat.
No.
Was Frank Mark never a raccoon? Was he?
Not in the.
I think he may.
Oh, but no, he was on the bowling team.
He was on the bowling team. Yeah. But was Frank Marth in the ever wear a raccoon hat?
Stanley's wearing one.
Stanley was of course.
One.
And then when they do the voting thing during the fishing episode, but I don't think Frank Marth is in any of them.
You know, the scene of the bachelor party has a lot of people on the stage.
Yeah.
And you got to watch them as they walk off, because it's hard to see the pan shot,
right?
Because it comes in on the pan shot, then boom, then it zooms in right on the four main characters up front. But then as they're walking off, you can see.
Oh, and then there's a little kid.
Yeah. That little kid, he's this big. They probably ran out of guys, and they used somebody's son.
He's
this big.
Some Italian kid who already at 12 years old had a goatee already.
Yeah, the kid's walking up. He's like 4 foot tall.
I don't think Frank Marth is ever in a raccoon uniform.
No, I think the only thing is
in the 39.
Yeah.
In the 39, it's just when
what's his
bowling,
name? What's his name in one? Bert Wiedemeyer?
Yeah,
he's actually one of the seats. Is he one of the
one of the ones when they did the fishing trip.
Fishing trip.
Yeah, he was one of them.
I think he's
so was Eddie Hanley.
Oh, Eddie Hanley,
Eddie Hanley, yeah.
And then
was it Bill Davis?
Bill Davis, not Bill Davis, but Bill Davis. And then of course Harry. And then Fred. Ralph and Ed.
And there's another guy. His last name, I believe, is Ruskin. I don't know what he plays another part, because I think he had like a recent birthday at the calendar, and he appears as a raccoon, but I don't know if he ever appears as anything else. Just as a raccoon,
just one of those
in
guys.
the gallery, in the raccoon gallery. But that was his like
Raccoon
only.
gallery.
I think his last name is Ruskin or Raskin or something like that. I'll have to look that up.
The calendar's great.
The calendar's phenomenal.
Like so much. So just a little spin off on this. Then I think there are 3 times. Just thinking about this, when they actually are outdoor scenes. Is it only 3?
Well, we got the Yellow Betty Sapsucker.
Right, they're in the park. Right.
The sewer. Throw me up the costume.
Yep.
And then Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
There you go.
Well, they're
outside the
Gotham Bus Company.
Gotham Bus Company.
So 4?
Oh, and Dick Prescott. That's outside.
Dick Prescott was outside. in the
Oh,
beginning.
Questioning photographer.
And then safety award again out front.
outside,
there's
yeah.
a lot. Yeah, there's
So
actually
with safety
a lot.
award,
oh,
he was
and then
outside a couple
please
times.
leave the
Please
premises.
leave the premises. They're outside at the
Oh,
end.
they were
Yeah,
on
that
lot.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
they were on
good.
lot.
But that's
Yeah,
good though.
yeah, yeah.
Outside, actually
Yeah.
outside,
Exactly.
supposedly outside shots.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Oh, and the fishing trip. I don't know if you mentioned that before. The fishing
Oh,
trip.
yeah, the
Freddie
fishing
Muller's-
trip in the
Freddie
car.
Muller's car.
Right.
Yeah.
So three times outside of the apartment.
Apartment. Yeah.
3 times outside the apartment, right?
Apartment. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 That's exactly it. All
Isn't
right.
it? I can't wait to hear what the masses say.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. All right, we're coming up to Louis' 1,1283rd favorite bit. That's
moving up.
$12.83.
Yeah, $12.83. Moving up.
And you guys know. Here it is.
Now, Tom, who is our first guest, please? Our first guest, ready to leap the first
Cherry
hurdle.
Sriracha was a
On his
little
way to
slow.
the $99,000 answer is our
Comedian from Schenectady, Joe Conti.
Thank you, sir.
I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
Oh, I have actually a comedy partner on this one here.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
great Steve Franchi. Steve will have his face, and I will have a pie, and I will throw it in his face. Let me have it. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, this is prepared by
Professor Walter Newman, of
as
course.
usual. And Professor Walter Newman gave him his bottle of cherry sriracha. It was empty because they don't make it anymore. All right, here's the trivia. Who did Ralph give $100 to bring his suits to the cleaner?
Okay.
And got arrested afterwards.
I don't want to say it because then is it?
I'm gonna go.
Is it Timmy?
Close.
It's Tommy.
Tom.
It's Tommy.
Tommy.
It's definitely Tommy, but I'm trying. I don't want to just blurt it out because I know it's not Tommy Mullins.
No,
because
it's not.
Tommy Mullins came.
Uncle Leo with
Uncle Leo.
The one day he has to come home.
Yeah, 365 days a year, and that Mullins kid's got to come home from the Navy.
Is it a name that has been used before?
No. I'll give you a hint, though. It's an Irish name.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Oh, my God. I got it. Doyle.
You got it. Doyle. Tommy Doyle. There you go.
Doyle. That's right.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Joe.
He's in jail. And he shakes the life out of Alice. Like almost like snapped her neck.
Yes.
He's in
Very
jail.
good.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was Gleason just being Gleason.
300-pound Gleason.
300-pound Gleason and 114-pound Meadows.
She was probably petrified after that.
I think she had CTE after that. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just the way he's in jail
Yeah.
with the cigar
Yeah.
in between his fingers,
Yeah.
shakes her. It's unbelievable. It really, really is. It really is. By the way,
I knew there was a by the way. to this.
I forgot that was our trivia sponsored by Lily Printing.
That's right, Lily Printing.
I apologize. That's our pal Rob J. Lilly, who is Brother Norton, the owner and operator of Lily Printing. Go to lilyprinting.com for signs, banners, copy services, office printing, full color printing, advertising products, a funny thing, more. Ampersand more. I'm just joking. But yeah, if you want anything done, just call up Rob. And if you want the phone number, it is Bensonhurst 3. No, it's I can't even see this. Oh my God. 908. Steve, you want to read that?
Oh
I
boy.
can't even see
These are the
that.
same glasses he wore at the convention when he was trying to do Ralph's part. How
Ralph
dare they put in amateur actors at the last minute?
or the Hunchback of Notre Dame. 908-638-6464.
Yes, for
There you go.
lilyprinting.com.
Now, Joe, I don't know if he has any more calendars because somebody was asking on the
somebody-
website
yeah.
when I posted the calendar.
Okay.
Somebody, it was an unfamiliar name. He was like, "Ooh, I want one." I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
I didn't want to answer because I don't know if Rob still has the calendars.
Well, you know what? Then I'll call up Rob and see if he does. I'll have him post it, or I'll post it in our thing and put the link up.
Yeah, because you put that calendar, people go nuts.
Yeah. Oh, it's
it's unbelievable.
It's just great. All right. Well, then
you go ahead and print it.
Go ahead and print it. Okay. Go ahead and print it.
Go ahead and print it.
Stupid.
Does he do color?
I think so.
When his tongue starts turning blue, we'll do a color spread on it.
Yeah, you got to be careful. If you don't use them, you could.
We could be laughed out of the business.
So stupid. I'm going to need 2 different business cards.
No one would have a need for 2 of those.
No. If you ask Robian, he knows. He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
You know how?
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't find it.
Obviously.
You know who I blame for that? Who?
You.
I wanted to do that, right? Only because of 2 weeks ago we had our full-grown nut, and it was Lee Yu, and I wanted it to just be like, "Hey, so it's Lee."
You.
It's so stupid. But I think that's it. We are done. I'm just trying to find my ending so I can play the ending music. And it should be.
Can't you just use my picture?
It's right up to. So now, who can we thank? Of course, thank our pal, the great Steve Franchi, our non-titled producer. Of course, thanks to Silk City Hot Sauce. Thanks to thegoods.fun, which is my wife's.
Your wife.
Exactly. Also, thanks to Lily Printing for being sponsors. Everybody who listens, especially Bob Cohen, our full-grown nut of the week from our episode here. Anybody who emails us, comments on Facebook. Thank you, Michael Bruce, for the voicemail. And all of you full-grown nut and fraternity members and future fraternity members.
That's right.
Share episodes of our YouTube videos or just the episodes, because now they're all up on the Non-Productive site. So if you just want to send one of the episodes and you don't have the podcasting, you could just send a YouTube clip, the whole YouTube thing. You could just send it to your friends. And just share any of that directly with your pals in the sewer or at the bus depot. And if you want to follow me on all my social media platforms, it's Joe Conti with an E comic. And we will keep you posted on our the documentary that we're going to be in.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. And I'd like to thank Steve's wife.
Your wife!
Carla, for giving us this wonderful Cramden's Delicious Marshall.
Sorry, I thought it was a roast beef.
With plenty of crackers, pal.
Just delicious.
Just delicious.
So your wife, Carla, outdid herself with this.
All right. Well, for me, Joe Conti, our pal Steve Franchi, and Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.